Anime for blondes.
Maomao at her core is a girl's girl.
She's such a girl's
She
girl.
grew up surrounded by girls who were in very tough situations.
Maomao didn't need to be involved in any of the things
this
episode, but she made herself involved because she cares.
Action!
Hello, I'm Becca.
And I'm Allie.
And welcome to Anime for Blondes!
The girly pop podcast made for girls, gays, theys, and blondes.
The blondes is crucial.
And spiritual.
And it's for, like, everyone who loves those girls, too.
Yeah, true. You know what? If you love a girl and you love anime, this is also
welcome.
For you.
This is a safe space for you.
And today we're talking about the Apothecary Diaries episode 39.
Season 2, episode 15.
Oh, you checked that?
Yep.
That's confirmed?
I did. Confirmed.
All right, slay. And once again, we've just had, like, such a good run of episodes.
Oh my gosh.
I'm loving it.
This has been a good season overall, and like the last 5 episodes, this has been a good. It's been
ever since the hunting trip and onward.
Mm-hmm.
I've enjoyed every single part of it, and it's just like I feel the story building, you know?
Yeah, no, it feels like they're actually like telling a story. As silly as that sounds.
It's less slice of lifey now.
Yes, it's kind of groundbreaking. It's like something's happening actually.
And all the pieces that were like scattered during the first half of the season are starting to come back again as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been loving it. This episode starts where we left off, where poor little Xiaolin breaks the ice.
She is just the sweetest little girl ever.
She's crying and getting yelled at in the street because she might be getting this poor eunuch fired also.
No, literally.
They're like, let's hope he just gets fired.
And so he was bringing the ice to Llewellyn.
Yeah,
Llewellyn. And it was just as a sweet treat.
Just because.
I'm like, just a block of ice for a sweet treat?
First of all, that's not a treat.
Are we almond moms? Eat some iron? Do we have iron deficiency? I don't understand.
She might have an iron deficiency.
She might.
We don't know anything about her.
I mean, there was rumors that she was pregnant.
Oh, that's true.
My mom had an iron deficiency when she was pregnant with me,
mm-hmm.
and she had been vegetarian, and the doctor was like, okay, you can either take all of these pills, because it was back in the day, so they didn't have easy iron pills, I guess. And the doctor was like, or you can just eat 1 steak a week. And she was like, okay, I guess I just won't be vegetarian anymore.
Oh man.
And so she just started eating 1 steak a week so that she wouldn't be iron deficient.
A steak a week sounds crazy though. That sounds like a lot.
I mean, maybe.
I also was a vegetarian for a while.
I definitely could be vegetarian. I don't love meat.
Uh-huh.
I've learned to like it a lot more now that I'm an adult and I learned to cook.
And now that you like food in general.
Yeah, now that I'm less picky, and I feel like I'm less picky because I learned how to cook things well.
That's true.
I used to not like steak, and then I learned that you can make it really well with really good sides, and it's delicious.
I didn't like the feeling of the meat. You know, I'm a texture person,
mm-hmm.
and that's mostly why I hated it. Also, Charlotte's Web had a really big impact on me.
Yeah, I mean, when you're a kid and you find out that, farm animals are what you're eating...
It's actually so fucked up.
That is so traumatizing. I think any person with empathy remembers learning that.
Yeah. Because farm animals are used to, teach us, fundamentals.
Well, and it's like the Lil Dicky music video I showed you.
Oh my god.
Where she's like, I'm not against us hunting, but now we're just incubating animals. I'm like, period, girl.
Every time you remind me that exists, I die a little bit inside.
My favorite music video ever. Everybody go watch Pillow Talking music video by Lil Dicky. That's your homework for the week.
Okay. And that has nothing to do with the Apothecary Diaries.
No, of course not.
Okay. So Maomao is standing up for her right away. She says, I'm sorry, we weren't paying attention to where we were going.
Mm-hmm.
And Jinshi's just in the back smiling.
No, literally.
Watching
and Maomao's like, why is he here?
First of all, he works here. Why wouldn't he be here? He works here, girl.
She's like, what's he doing here? Girl.
Be so for real. But he's smiling because he's like, I can use this.
Oh, God. He's like, I can help her.
He's just waiting for an opportunity to be useful to her.
No,
like a
literally.
true simp.
Yep.
I like my men pathetic. And that interaction between them makes me emo. Like,
yeah.
So she picks up the ice and she says, "Hey, can we use this?" Oh, and when he says it's for Lolin, she goes, "Oh, damn it, that's the one concubine I don't have any pull with." I'm like,
girl,
do you
not
sure?
have any pull?
Are you sure you don't have any pull?
But later on,
yeah,
we get a little twist.
Yeah, we get a little twist, and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be really funny if he comes
I feel like,
back.
Can we not like just say it at this point?
We can, because we could still be wrong.
Because that's the thing is, I think it's just a fan theory.
We could still be wrong.
Okay, guys, if you don't want any like
potential spoiler, skip like a few minutes. I don't know. I'll try to mark it on the timestamps. But okay, ready?
You tell it.
The theory is that Lady Lolin and Shisui are the same person.
Yes.
We don't know anything about Lady Lolin because she is always in her house because she's actually never in her house.
Mm-hmm.
She is pretending to be a servant because she just wants to live a normal life because she like has interests in, bugs and like creepy things.
Mm-hmm.
And because they have the same hair color, they have the same eye color, and
Lolin is like super done up with her makeup and like has like super cleavage and everything like that, whereas Shisui, they suggest that she like binds her chest so that she's not like super voluptuous as a servant. And remember when she was in the pool in the baths, Maomao was like, wow, she actually has quite the figure. And when Maomao looked at her during the like campfire
when she's telling the story, and she's like, oh, interesting, she's very entertaining.
And she looks familiar. I have seen in the like episode discussion posts on Reddit that people also seem to wonder if it's maybe a twin situation, kind of reminiscent of the sister mirror. Like, we've had a lot of that.
Yeah.
So it would be on par with like the story so far. There's a lot of like twins, triplets, duplicates.
Yes, there's a lot of doubling and a lot of switching. So that wouldn't be crazy.
Because people also suspect it could be that her and her servants like kind of trade out who is Lolin.
Oh, that'd be crazy.
And that's kind of like the other one.
Yeah.
That we had that situation. So this situation has been mirrored, no pun intended, in a lot of other things. I still really want it to be that she is Lolin.
And I think it is.
And maybe she has her servants like stand in for her sometimes.
Well, she'd have to, right? Because I guess we don't know.
And that's why we wanted to, I guess let's just say it now so that we don't have to spoil it later. But later on, when they're eating the ice cream and they're bringing the ice cream to Lolin, and then Shisui shows up. So how could she be there and also be waiting for the ice cream?
I was waiting for that servant guy to come back and be like, she wasn't there. Weird.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's gonna be a dead freaking giveaway.
Well, and I was waiting for maybe a moment of it being delivered to Lolin and her being like, oh, like, who made this? And then like hearing that it was the apothecary or something, and her being like, oh, and like maybe giving a look that would maybe tell us something, but we didn't get
any of that.
We didn't get any of that, but
that's okay. But still, she liked it, and I was just like, this is just, to me, it's just like another hint and not really confirmation.
Exactly. So let's go back into not talking about that.
Okay.
If you want to skip the spoilers, you are safe now.
Yep, you are safe from spoilers. So we're going back to okay. So she says, damn it, I have no pull with Lady Lolin, so I gotta do something to fix this. She's like, can I take the ice? And he's like, you have 1 hour to do whatever it is you think you're gonna do.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna make something else with it. And do you remember doing this in elementary school?
Oh yeah, I was like, I want to make ice cream so bad. I want to make ice cream so bad again.
That was like so, I just love when things that we have done are being done in the show, and they don't say it right away, but like you figure it out as it's happening.
I definitely knew like immediately that she was going to be making ice cream. Like as soon as she got her ingredients, I was like, oh my god, she's going to make ice cream.
Oh my god. Okay, so she takes the stuff, right? And she goes to the quack doctor because
she calls him a quack a lot, this one.
We don't know his name.
I was like, they're really stressing that he's a quack in this one. Like, I feel like she's mentioned it before, but this one, it was like every single time she talked about him.
That's literally just his character name. Like, I don't think he has an actual name.
That's crazy.
And she, because, you know, Xiaolin is crying, and Jinshi shows up all smug, and he's like, is there anything you would like to ask me?
Oh my god, and it's glittering. It's the sparkly Jinshi.
He's sparkly again, because I can just tell he's just so much more comfortable. Like, he's not just, like, teasing her because he finds her interesting. It's because now she knows this thing about him, and he knows that she knows, and it just...
They're in cahoots.
And it brings them closer together, and I think he's just, like, relieved that at least that much has been shared.
No, and you can tell Maomao feels more comfortable with him, too. Like, she still is very careful to follow, like, the rules to the letter and like that.
And keeping her distance.
But just in how she acts, like, it's, like, her body language, and, like, he walks in, so she's, like, comforting Xiaolin crying, and then he walks in, she sees him, she immediately is like, well, I need to go talk to him. Like, none of the other characters were like, I need to go talk to him, but she sees him, she's like, he's here for me, and I need to go talk to him. Whereas, like, that, like, they have this, like, understanding, but Maomao still is, like, being very careful, being very by the book, but her body language is betraying her.
And I'm actually blind in my left eye, and I'm 40% blind in my other eye.
I don't know this.
Oh, you don't know that TikTok thing? Oh.
No.
Oh, she goes, did you see the crime? And he goes, is this being recorded? She's like, yeah, we're live. And he's like, no, I didn't see anything. Matter of fact, I'm blind in this eye and 40% blind in this eye.
I've never seen this.
That's crazy. There's something on TikTok that I've seen that you haven't.
Our For You pages are like 90% the same, and then that last 10% is drastically different.
And it's so random. And it could be anything.
No, literally.
So, okay. So Jinshi says, is there anything you need from me? And she says, can I please have a kitchen and some ingredients? And he goes, what am I going to get in return?
Like, bro. Okay, this is so, like, I'm so sorry to do this to you, Jinshi, but he's a where my hug at kind of guy. He's a without me when you tell him you're showering type of guy.
He is.
In, like, in the most innocent way. In the least, like, toxic, scary way.
Yeah.
But he is totally a where my hug at without me guy. And I was like, Jinshi, what do I get in return? Like, bro. And obviously it's just
my
poor girl.
I know. It's just
like, I don't have anything for you.
And that's another sign that she's more comfortable with him now, because she admits, like, I have nothing for you, but I'm asking you for this anyways. And season 1 Maomao would never. And he goes, okay, how about this? In exchange, how about you just fucking shut up and listen when someone's trying to tell you something?
But before that, we have the moment where he's like, this isn't even your issue. Why are you the one asking me for this? And she's like, she has this moment of, like, reminiscing. She's like, at first I just hung out with Xiaolin for the gossip, and, like, I would trade her my snacks, so there was no owing anybody anything. And she's like, but despite myself, I have come to adore her.
I unfortunately have feelings.
No, literally.
She's like, I just wouldn't sleep well, and that would affect my work the next day.
And
okay, queen.
No, his face when she said she wouldn't sleep well, he would have done anything for her.
Oh,
he was like, my girl cannot have bad sleep.
He's like, I can't have that. That's the worst case scenario.
No, literally, his face was shocked. I want to, like, find a picture and put it on the episode. Okay. Because he literally was, like horrified that she would possibly not sleep well. And he continues to tease, but you know at that moment, he's like, I will do anything.
It's similar to where he, like, finds out about her past, and he's like, triggered. He's like, I can't believe that anything bad would ever happen to this person that I'm obsessed with.
Yep.
So, sorry, I just remembered when he carried her after she saved him.
I know.
This made me unreasonably, and maybe it's just because I'm also in my, like, follicular phase, but, like,
Luteal.
Oh, what?
Luteal.
Are you sure?
Yes, follicular is after period. We have been over this so many times, like,
I get the
this
two mixed
week.
up. I'm so sorry.
Like, literally, like, yesterday.
Yeah, that's my bad. Can we cut that out? You're like,
No.
no. You're like, no, I'm keeping that.
Okay, guys, so you start with your period, menstruation, then follicular, that's when you're, like, your best self. Then it goes into...
ovulating.
Yeah, like, so the, like, bridge between follicular and luteal is the ovulation. So that's, like, your last good days. And then you go into luteal, and you're miserable, and you're ugly, and you're, like, the worst person in the world. Like, oh my god. And then you go into your period. And then, honestly, sometimes period is a relief.
No, it is. It is. I'm like, my period is never as bad.
No, literally. Once I learned about the luteal phase, I'm like, that makes so much sense.
And, like, yesterday, it was a Friday. It should have been, like, a great day. Nothing bad actually happened, but I was just having the worst day ever.
No, literally. And that's why I was like, you're in your luteal phase, queen.
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what it is.
Yeah. And so, that's my bad. And I don't remember why I brought this up.
I don't know. You were like, because you were feeling down bad for Jinshi?
I'm not down bad for Jinshi specifically. It's just, I was just feeling very emotional and emo about this scene. For, like, no reason. It's, like, not actually that deep, but maybe it is. Maybe it is actually that deep.
No, it was sweet.
Because, so, you know, they have that moment where she's like, I wouldn't sleep well, and he's like, okay, how about this? Here's what you can do for me in exchange. Next time someone is trying to tell you something, maybe just listen and let them finish. And she goes, oh, that's all? And he's like, you can't even do that.
Nope.
No. So he's like, and then her scarf that she's always wearing in her hair falls out, and he catches it, and he's like, why don't you wear a hairpin? She's like, I don't have one. And he's like, I beg to fucking differ.
And he's like, I literally gave you one.
Did you sell it? And she's like, I thought she did already, honestly.
I know, I was like, if she sold that, I'm done.
I'd be pissed.
Like, I'm actually done with her if she sold it.
And she didn't. She's like, no, not yet. And he's like, okay, how about this? Just wear the hairpin, please.
And then he said, when she wears it, when you wear it, I'll tell you.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Like a signal that when she wears it, she's ready to hear what he has to say.
You could hear a hairpin drop.
He's still at the restaurant.
Glass shattered on the white cloth. Everybody moved on.
And when he was like, please wear the hairpin, I shed actual tears. And I was like, why is this making me so emotional? And is it just because, like, I know how, like, obsessed with her he is? Or is it because, like, I feel sad for him? Or is it because I just feel, like, the emotions between them? Or am I just in my luteal phase?
Well, from my expert opinion.
yeah, tell me.
I think it is kind of that understanding of, like, they have these feelings for each other that, like, can't be realized right now. And, like, he is, like, a little bit more aware of them than she is right now. And it is, like, I don't know, there is something, like, emotional about it. Because I definitely felt that, too. I didn't cry, but the whole episode, I felt, was, like, a little bit more on the emotional end.
It was. There was, like, a lot of, like, sensitivity, I guess.
Yeah, because even then, like, when we go into, like, the pregnancy and Maomao as her adopted father and, like, just a lot of the discussion and, like, her feelings about Xiaolin, like, it felt like this was about Maomao's emotions more.
Yeah.
And it was interesting to see her have emotions. And we even kind of get, like, a fourth wall, like, meta thing at the end with her fellow ladies' maids being like, that's your dad? Like, you don't seem like that at all. Like, he has I don't know, like, he's self-aware. He has common sense. And it's like, yeah, it's interesting to see Maomao in these positions where she seems more human than like her typical robotic, emotionless self.
Yeah. The thing that drove this episode, like, all of the plot points and everything that happened were, a result of Maomao caring about someone and like the relationships that she's built with all these different people. She built a relationship with this little servant girl, and now she feels like she has to protect her and help her get out of this scary situation. She has this relationship with Jinshi, so she feels like she can ask him for help and has accepted that she needs to. And, you know, she feels emotionally close to Lady Gyokuyou and is just intelligent and realizes she might be in danger. And then also her relationship and respect that she has for her father, like just brings it all together and it's gonna be like such a, I mean, maybe it won't actually be that messy and dramatic, but I'm picturing a very like messy social situation in the future.
Yeah, I'm wondering if that's gonna happen too. But yeah, it definitely was an episode of like Maomao didn't need to be involved in any of the things this episode, but she made herself involved because she cares about people.
Yes.
And we don't see Maomao outwardly caring that much a lot, so I really liked that they gave us that in this episode.
Once again, season 1 Maomao could never. Like season 1 Maomao is very much just like, I'm gonna mind my business, but I'm also not gonna let anyone get killed, obviously. You know, if I see something, I'll say something if I can actually do anything about it. But this episode and this season, she's very much going very out of her way for the people she cares about.
Well, and I think it's a testament to that she is starting to feel like safe and comfortable where she is. And it's very, we're starting to see her get out of the survival mode.
And lest we all forget, she chose to be here. Jinshi did not have to buy her. He made that offer. It was an idea. And she goes, yeah, that would be great because I would love to work in the rear palace again. Like, she chose that.
Yep.
And that is, yeah, that's a really good point that she's getting out of survival mode because she's doing work that she cares about and she's surrounded by people she cares about. And this is somewhere she chose to be. She's not like someone who is captured and sold off anymore. Like, this was something she wanted. And
she's not just doing her job.
No,
she's going out of her way to like make more jobs. I'm like, girl, this is crazy.
The economy in the rear palace is like thriving.
No, seriously.
She's carrying this palace.
She really is.
And I'm just saying that's like a very like empirical, respectable thing or trait to have.
Yeah.
I'm just saying
that would be a great trait of a future empress.
Yeah. Anyways. Okay, so he gives her the stuff. She gets the kitchen.
We're literally still like 2 minutes into the episode.
Oh, I know. We have a whole other half, but that was really important to talk about.
Yeah, it was. And it goes into the later half of the episode too. Yeah. But yeah, so he gives her the ingredients, he gives her the kitchen, and the eunuch that has the ice, he's like, please fix this.
Yeah.
He's trusting Maomao. Like, because at first he was just pissed, and he's like, yeah, I guess you can try something. And now he's like, please, this is like my life on the line.
No, he's like, I am in grave danger.
Yeah.
And that's, like, we forget that because it's like such a silly situation. Oh, some ice broke, but it's like, no, his life is in danger.
No, literally. Like, anything that goes wrong is life or death.
Yeah. And that was a really big sticking point for Maomao in season 1. She's like, I gotta shut the fuck up or else I could die. So she's got cow's milk and chopped up fruits that she asked Jinshi, like, what Lulin's favorites are. So, and then sugar and salt.
Yep.
And she puts the milk in the bowl, and she puts that bowl in the bigger bowl surrounded by ice, and she starts stirring.
She adds salt to the ice, sugar to the milk, stir it up. That's ice cream.
It's just like 3rd grade, people.
I know. We actually had an ice cream maker growing up.
You did?
It was so freaking cool.
Oh my, wait, that's so cool. You can just have fresh ice cream?
Yeah, we would make fresh ice cream. Like, I mean, it feels like it was like a big part of my life, but it was probably just like a year or two, like in elementary school, you know? But I remember we would make fresh ice cream, like, all the time with it.
Oh, man.
And it was this, like, big, clunky ice cream maker, because, like, back in the day, nothing was, like, compact. Like, you can buy, like, the Ninja Creamy now, and it's, like, so tiny. But, yeah, I loved making ice cream. You can actually make them with KitchenAid as well. There's, like, a special attachment. I want to get it for my KitchenAid.
I forget that you have one of those.
I know. I love it.
Okay, Martha Stewart.
Yeah, that's me. Ina Garten.
Okay, so she makes ice cream. It's really cute. Xiaolin is happy again.
My girl, she's like, oh, we shouldn't like give it to her without tasting it first. I'm like, you're kind of pushing it.
That actually is kind of crazy behavior. Thank goodness that there's extra in a bowl.
No, yeah, I was like, girl, you're pushing it, and there was extra, so I was like, okay, it's fine. But Mama was like, oh, good, she's like back to her normal self. I'm like, girl, like, this is barely working out for you. Like, you need to.
You don't even know if you don't even know if she's gonna like it.
No, because I was thinking this whole time, I'm like, you asked for ice. Like, what if she wanted ice for something else? Like, what if she wasn't gonna eat it or something?
I know. I mean, he did say she wanted it for like an ice treat. But if you weren't already gonna have ice cream, what are you doing with just this giant block of ice that is like a treat?
That is what I'm so confused about. Like, it seems like
it's just...
It seems like it's so drastically different that if I had asked for a big block of ice and then I was brought ice cream, I would be like,
what the hell is this?
Like, unless she had never had ice cream before, which I think that's what we're supposed to assume, is that this was, like, this amazing other treat. But I'm like, how are they spinning this even?
I know.
Like, how he's asked to bring a big block of ice to her. He brings her an ice cream. How's he spinning it? He's like... Because if it was me, I'd say something like, ma'am, like, they were out of ice blocks, but there's actually this new iced treat that we made special for you, or, like, something like that. I'm like, how is this being spun?
Yeah, that's the only way that makes sense. But, yeah, it's, like, so... The two things that... what you asked for versus what you received, like, if that happened, like, today in a restaurant...
No, it would be like, that's not...
They would not be having that.
Literally, it confused me so much.
So hopefully, yeah, he probably just explained, like, we're out of ice. Here you go. Here's an ice treat.
Yeah, but apparently it was good. Even Shisui comes in and tries it, and she thinks it's really good, and they're loving it.
And I love when Maomao gets to, like, watch her, like, girlfriends, like, be happy.
I know.
And she just feels, like, such satisfaction. Like, we can't forget, like, she grew up... Maomao at her core is a girl's girl.
She's such a girl.
She grew up surrounded by girls who were in very tough situations, and also, like, a bunch of girl bosses. And, you know, she's had not an easy life, and it warms her heart to see these girls that she cares about so happy. And yeah.
The previous episode, I can't remember if we actually ended up touching on it, but the one where Maomao reveals that when she was a baby, she was just left to cry because they were all working.
Yeah.
And that she learned to, like, that, like, crying wouldn't get her anything.
Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but that actually is really important lore to have.
It is really important lore, and it's interesting because Maomao really looks back on her growing up experience in this, like, fond way. And that reminds us, like, oh, it wasn't all good. Like, because a little bit, it's like you can see that it's, like, romanticized almost.
Yeah.
But it's like this is still, like, these are sex workers, and like, in an age, I mean, it's not like now's any better, but like, in an age where that wasn't...
That's one of the only careers you could have.
Exactly. And it's not like they were going to be treated well all the time. And they were busy, and they didn't have time to just take care of a baby all the time.
Yeah, like, that Maomao was, like, the only baby who showed up, because if you get pregnant as a concubine, you're screwed.
Exactly. And so that was some interesting lore to add on to, like, hey, by the way, Maomao really romanticizes her growing up experience, and it feels like she wasn't traumatized from it, but she kind of was.
She was, and I think she looks at all of those, like, bad things that happened in a very, like, pragmatic way.
Yeah.
And that's part of, like, who she is. I think she, like, really... She learned how to separate, you know, the reality and, like, not take those, like, things personally.
I mean, she had to. She was
forced
forced from a baby to just cry it out.
Yeah. And that's probably why she doesn't cry very much now. It's because she's like, well, crying doesn't do anything. Like,
exactly.
I have to actually, like, solve these issues.
And, like,
myself.
showing emotions in general doesn't do anything, is, I feel like, how she sees things.
So, yes, her, like, situation growing up, not good. She does have trauma. But the best parts of her growing up, and I think, like, the fondness of her memories, it comes from the people she grew up with and the relationship she has.
Yeah.
And that's why she's such a girl's girl.
She is. She's definitely a girl's girl. And she knows the benefits of gossip. We love that.
Yeah, that's super important. Okay. So moving on into the second half of this episode, speaking of caring about people, Gyokuyou feels the baby kicking, and I'm like, oh, that's cute. And then she goes, this baby's kicking down low, where my daughter would always kick up high.
Yeah, and at first I was like, are they trying to like tell us it's a boy? Is that like
that's what I thought? I was like,
an old wives' tale.
Like, literally, I thought she was gonna be like, oh well, there's this old tale from the Pleasure District that means it's gonna be a boy.
But nope, it's way worse than that.
It's the worst case scenario, actually.
It could be breech.
That Malachi figured out right away. I want to say,
of course,
he was like, oh, that means its legs are on the bottom, so it's gonna be breached, and I was like.
I feel like I also didn't realize how far along she was, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, once Maomao was like, this soon, I was like, okay, then that makes sense why she'd be so concerned. But I just had assumed it was like still kind of midway. So I was like, it's fine.
Yeah. Well, because we don't see her very much like showing. And that's the point.
Also, you're a baby in there and you're just like upside down. I'm like, are you getting nauseous? Like, the gravity?
Yeah. That's
like,
why
head rush?
Throw up. I don't know. I don't actually know.
I don't either.
Never been pregnant.
Yeah, me neither. I have been a baby though.
And
in utero.
And did you not in utero? Okay, and then did you have head rush?
I feel like I probably did because I get that a lot, like as a person, as a non in utero baby. I feel like I get nausea a lot. So
you either have headaches or tummy aches.
I'm definitely a headache person.
Oh, me too.
I get tummy aches sometimes, but
my tummy aches are anxiety related usually.
I don't know what my tummy aches are, but I mostly get headaches.
In the comments, tell us, are you a tummy ache girly or a headache girly?
Yes, please.
We're all one or the other.
Please let us know.
So yeah, Maomao lets Gyokuyou know that it could be a breached delivery.
And she's like, let me check, like, let me give you an examination. And she's like, yeah, for sure. And then she's like, whispers, she's like, this is what the examination will entail. And I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah. And Gyokuyou continues to be a queen.
She really is.
Like, absolutely. Like, I hope she gives birth to a boy. I want her to be empress.
No,
actually.
she deserves it.
She deserves it. She's, like, the best one. And it's not just because I'm, like, spending the most time with her.
Yeah. It's not just because we know the most about her.
Yeah. I'm not biased. And she's like, well, who gave birth or who helped you deliver the princess? And it was her head lady in waiting. And it was like a fairly easy birth because she was like smaller and she did a lot of research before, so it like wasn't really much of an issue.
Yeah.
But this is an entirely different situation. So she gives her an official examination, and she really is like winging a lot of this. Like in her brain, she's like, I actually don't know how to do this. I just am gonna do my best.
Well, and I was dying the whole time she was talking about this with Lady Gyokuyou. She's holding the baby, and the baby just kept like reacting to everything Maomao said, like, as if she understood.
You are
like she kept like making like shocked eyes and stuff. And I was like, why are they making this baby like understand what's going on?
I thought it was really cute that the baby is like listening to the baby in her belly.
No, and she's like, they are identical. She is like totally her mother's daughter, and they're playing with the cat, and like, oh my god, it was just the so cutest. Cute. And I was just like, it's just so sweet that like Maomao's just allowed in there to like play with her and play with the cat. Like
Maomao and Maomao playing with the baby.
I know.
So Maomao is like, you need an actual doctor to help you with this delivery.
No quack doctor.
You might need to have a C-section, and that is dangerous.
Yeah. And she's basically like, girl, you're gonna die.
Yeah, so we need someone experienced, and this was also like really emotional. She's like, so we need a really experienced doctor who's also a eunuch so that they're allowed in. I have the perfect candidate. And she's very upfront with the fact that he was kicked out of the rear palace and is technically a criminal. And, you know, the head lady in waiting is like, absolutely not. We're not having any criminals, like, help deliver potentially the future emperor. And Gyokuyou goes, well, you know, the time that he was arrested or kicked out, like, the empress could just call anyone a criminal, so we can't, like, judge that at face value. And I'm like, how fucking interesting that, like, history, it was just like such a timely like discussion to have, because being deemed a criminal it's not created equal.
Nope.
And like anyone can be called a criminal for any reason. Like, just because someone says that you're a criminal or that you've committed a crime, crimes are not equal here.
Yep. Nope.
So we can't just go arresting and kicking people out of a space all willy-nilly, based like without due process is all I'm gonna say.
No, literally. Like,
so,
that's why we have laws.
like, what a fucking interesting discussion to have right now.
What a relevant discussion.
That's also why I'm crashing out. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine, guys. There is no war in Bossing Say. You don't know that reference, do you?
No.
That's alright.
Sorry. Okay.
Okay. And Gyokyo, that's why I love her and think she would make a great empress, because she's just so aware of the time period and the former empress, and she's like, I want an actual medical professional here to help me. So yeah, we're gonna bring him in.
Yeah, like, let's see what we can do.
And she makes the joke. She's like, I just can't imagine a bad person raising this feral cat or like this stray cat.
I know,
and I was
it
like,
was
a stray
so
cat
cute.
is crazy.
And it makes the ears pop up in her
Yeah.
animation. It was really cute.
Because she is just like such a cat.
Well, and it was funny, like, I had read something on one of the episode posts that they hadn't really been doing that a lot in this season, and they really haven't. Like, they did it a lot in the first season, and people suspect it's because, like, they've been able to ramp up the animation and, like, just make it a little bit more serious this season.
And everyone looks so gorgeous right now.
Yep.
Everyone looks so good. They definitely have been doing something different.
Yep.
I love it.
Yeah, it was so cute, though, to see that, because they haven't been doing that a lot, and that's kind of the part of anime that annoys me sometimes, is like the chibi, is that what it is? Like scenes and stuff. I'm like, okay, that can be overdone for me. So I feel like they've been doing it the perfect amount this season.
Which is hardly at all, but just like little touches.
Exactly. Like, I want to be like, oh, they're cute. Like, I want to be surprised by it.
I love a good chibi bit.
But yeah, and Lady Gyokuyou writes a letter.
And they bring in Maomao's father, whose name is Luomin.
Yep.
And he is her biological father, Locken's uncle. So
yes.
He's technically her great uncle and her adoptive father.
Which I didn't realize. I didn't remember.
Really?
Yeah.
We talked about that. We definitely have discussed that.
I'm sure we have, but I didn't remember that they were even connected. I've always been like, why is he her adopted father? Like, I didn't know where that connection was, so I liked that. That was funny. Not funny. That was cool to know. And then I loved how they showed his scene of, like, coming in.
And he's like, I never thought I would be here again.
And they, like, show... just on the camera, they don't even show him, they just show like the palace doors opening and him seeing, like, you're seeing it how he would be seeing it, and he's like, wow, it's changed since I was last here. I'm like,
It's changed so much, and you can just tell that this means a lot to him. And it means a lot to Maomao too, and I think it's cute that he goes to introduce himself and, like, they don't interact, but, like,
they're professional.
Yeah, they're professional.
And he's like, it's so funny because he introduces himself to Lady Gyokuyou, like, just completely as if, like, she's not the one that summoned him, basically.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, Lady Gyokuyou, I'm gonna temporarily be working in the doctor's office. Like, that's it.
And she's like, yeah, I'm the one who summoned you, but...
Literally.
And then he leaves, and everyone goes, Maomao, that's your dad?
Literally. And she's like, well, adopted, but yeah.
And they're like, you guys are nothing else. He has so much common sense.
I'm like, he said 2 words.
Yeah, I know. He just seems like such a rational person. And she's like, is that
My girl is
supposed to
so
mean?
confused.
I'm like, why is Maomao catching strays?
No, literally. I'm like, why is it just burn Maomao ending of the show? Like...
And it's because, like, she is so oblivious and she does, like, the craziest things, and, you know, like, they know that she's not very good at having the simplest explanations or ideas, and also doesn't understand how anyone feels about her.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, this they're like, this guy's not autistic, so
No, literally.
That's
literally
happened.
what was happening. Like, they were just calling her autistic.
They were.
And she was confused.
Yeah, and she's
I was
like, I don't understand what you guys are saying. Okay. So that was this episode. Next episode.
Wait.
Wait, what? What are we? What the fuck are we missing? Oh!
I'm like, back up.
Wait, you're right. Okay. We did have one more like little scene of. Hold on. It's not Suiren. Suiren is the name of Jinshi's head lady in waiting who runs his house.
Yeah, I was like, by the way, who is that?
They're very similar. Like, the names are very similar, so I do apologize for that. When Maomao mentioned Suiren earlier.
Yeah, I was like, who is she talking about?
That is the woman who runs Jinshi's household.
I have never, like, I was like, are they just saying this for the first time? And I'm supposed, like, they're acting like I'm supposed to know what this is?
She's the one who calls Maomao Jiaomao. Do you
I
remember that?
I thought that was Gaoxuan.
That is Gaoxuan, but she also calls Maomao that because she talks to Gaoxuan a lot, and that's how Gaoxuan refers to her, so that's what she calls her as well.
Is she old?
Yeah.
She's the old lady?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I knew that she was Jinshi's, like...
Yes.
Okay, I didn't know that.
That's okay. This is why we have these discussions.
Yeah, literally.
So that's Suiren. The girl who tried to kill Jinshi last season and then faked her death and is now back posing as a eunuch, thank you. Her name is, I wrote it down.
It's the last bullet point.
Siri.
Siri? Oh, it's Siri.
Yeah, my Siri was summoned. That's
funny.
Yeah. Suire. And it looks like she's checking out her own grave.
Now,
we don't know that.
I thought this was Jinshi.
You did?
I thought this was Jinshi.
Oh.
My bullet point says, is Jinshi looking at the graves of all the other, like, heirs?
Oh, no.
Like, would have been heirs, like, babies that didn't make it?
No.
Literally not even him. Wow.
It's not him. And you can tell because the hair is curly and Jinshi's hair is straight.
That's crazy.
So, yeah. And I guess I don't know for a fact that she's looking at her own grave. That's just the vibe that I got.
Yeah, that definitely makes more sense. I was like, why are they showing us this of Jinshi? So that makes way more sense.
So she's still out and about, and it's interesting that you thought that was Jinshi because, you know, everyone keeps pointing out that they look very similarly, so that might also be important eventually.
Yeah, I'm like, is that the girl who was, like, born to the emperor that...
Oh! I don't know.
But they've made a point of...
They have made a point.
Saying that, and I'm like, okay, so are they related? There's something going on there? I don't know.
Almost certainly. But we continue to get these little pieces, and next episode, we've got Locken back.
Ooh.
Locken and Luomin will be in the same vicinity, it looks like. And I also saw a scene of someone pulling out, like, some hairpins, and I was like, oh, is this another assassination attempt? Because they pulled out some hairpins threateningly. And that's really all we got about it. And so it looks like it's mostly going to be about, like, Locken getting his little fingers in this plot again.
Perfect. Well said.
And Gyokuyou might go into labor?
I hope.
Or is that how
I hope she's okay.
Or is that how the season will end, maybe?
Maybe, but that's kind of a few episodes in the future.
Yeah, that's quite a few episodes in the future. Quite a few. So probably not, actually.
Yeah, I have no idea. I hope we get a little bit more Maomao Jinshi crumbs. We got a little bit more today. He touched her chin with his finger.
He did. And so whenever she wears that hairpin, it's going to be a signal, and that just, that makes me feel a lot of feelings.
I know. They are so cute.
So yeah, this season continues to just slay.
It does.
And I'm excited for the next one.
Me too.
So make sure you guys are subscribed on your platform of choice.
Yes, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. We appreciate you all.
And make sure you follow us on social media at Anime for Blondes Pod on TikTok and Instagram.
Yay!
And then remember, new Apothecary Diaries episodes come out on Fridays, and then our reviews come out on Mondays.
Yes, and the end of this month is a Wednesday, and we'll have a special bonus episode on that day as well.
We will! So look forward to that, and then we'll see you in a week.
Bye, guys!
Bye!
Anime for Blondes.